how you look anorexic and fat all at once. Hashtag weird.
Skinny fat is confusing because the more cardio you do and the less food you try and eat, the worse the problem seems to get.
Dr. Andrew Krudnick, biomedical research scientist who has conducted multiple studies on how food and exercise affect body composition and muscle physiology. Let's see what Tony has to say about skinny fat.
But what if I told you that's because you're trying to solve the wrong problem? Skinny fat usually doesn't come from having too much body fat. It comes from not having enough muscle to give your body that lean, tone, and defined look.
It is true that muscle contributes a lot to the overall physique. The term skinny fat is more of a layperson term, but this phenomenon has real implications for overall health. I've studied muscle mass in disease for over half a decade, and the loss of muscle mass later in life in some diseases can be the biggest risk factor for not just the way you look, but the ability to survive disease and function later in life.
You're probably going for. See, there's always going to be a layer of fat on top of your muscle. That's just how your body's anatomy is set up. So no matter how much fat you keep losing, if there isn't any muscle to go underneath it,
Unfortunate but true.
there's nothing there to give your physique any shape. So instead of adding even more cardio, focus instead on lifting heavy weights and actually limit your.
It's very hard to gain muscle, easy to lose it, while very easy to gain fat and hard to lose fat. But focusing on resistance exercise is key to gaining muscle mass and addressing this skinny fat phenomenon.
Your cardio if that's where you spend most of your time working out. It won't make you bulky, I promise. And instead of eating even less food, you should probably be focused on eating more of the right foods, especially when it comes to protein. More specifically, eating around how many calories you burn in a day, called your calorie maintenance, and aiming for around 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. If you want more accurate numbers for you, I have free calculators to both in my bio. But be consistent with this for a few months instead of stopping every time the scale goes up half a pound, and watch what happens.
Yet again, Tony gives great content and does great videos on health, nutrition, and exercise. If you want to improve your overall health and wellness, having a well-structured resistant exercise training program followed by some cardiovascular work can improve your overall health and probably help you address this skinny fat phenomenon if that affects you.